Over the last several videos, you've probably seen that I've been traveling through southeastern Turkey, exploring some of the earliest places where humans began to settle and build. We've stood among the monumental T-shaped pillars of Göbeklitepe and Tepe, and we've seen powerful evidence of ritual and communal behavior at Cyberge, places where hunter-gatherers were already creating architecture and meaning more than 11,000 years ago. But one question has kept coming up. How did it all start? How did these communities move from mobile hunter-gatherer life to building permanent structures and shared ritual spaces? That's why I've come to Çakmaktepe. This site appears to be among the earliest in the whole of the Taş Tepeler landscape. What archaeologists are uncovering here might show us the very first steps, the domestic houses and early communal buildings that came before the more dramatic monuments we've seen at other sites in the region. Today, I'm driving out to see it for myself, so come join me. So, up here on this barren plain, one of the many hills in this region, we head to our next site. Very few people have actually been here, but I think it's significant that we have to go check it out. There were some digs here in 2024 and also in 2025, and it effectively rewrites history because it tells us there were settlements potentially 11,000 years ago. That is rewriting the history books. But let's go have a look.
Landy, how much money? Euro, dollar?
How much? Very small. Little. Not much. And this is the archaeologist here. As you can see, completely barren up here. Barren wasteland. We got some factories over here in the distance, but a really makeshift road. They must have put that asphalt down very recently just so we can penetrate this area. Here we go. First sign of any civilization here. Imagine that. In the distance, I can hear and see a mosque, a huge mosque in the distance. It makes you wonder what's under the hill that mosque is built upon. But look at this. Çakmaktepe is part of the Taş Tepeler project in the Şanlıurfa region. Excavations began in 2021 under the Associate Professor Fatma Sahin with collaboration from the University of Tsukuba in Japan. But what makes it significant is the timing. The site dates to the very start of the Pre-Pottery Neolithic A period, around 9,600 to 8,800 BC. That places it amongst the earliest evidence we have of people choosing to live in one place year-round while they were still primarily hunter-gatherers. They weren't farming yet in any meaningful way, but they were already building proper architecture, carving homes into the living rock, and constructing larger communal spaces. This shifts the question from when people settled down to why they felt the need to do it so early and in such a deliberate way. My friend here is suggesting it's not 11,000 but 13,000. The carbon dating puts it in the same sort of bracket as Göbeklitepe, which is about 12,000 years old. So 12,000, 11,000, 13,000, maybe. This is hard bedrock here, just standing on the edge of the site. Let me show you the site again. So far, around 50 residential buildings have been uncovered. Each one is circular, between 3 and 5 meters across, and cut straight into the bedrock, where the rock slopes. The builders laid down early gravel surfaces to create level floors. What stands out is how different they all are. No two houses share the same layout or size. This wasn't standardized building. These were homes made by people who were still working out what permanent settlement should look like. And they were living here in significant numbers. The density of houses suggests the environment could reliably support a larger group than we might expect for pure hunter-gatherers at this stage. These people had decided this place was worth staying for. Alongside the houses stands something much larger, a circular communal building roughly 16 meters across. Inside are post holes for wooden beams and what appeared to be a bench along part of the wall. No internal divisions, just one open space. This was clearly built for gatherings that went beyond daily life. So we see some big stones here. Near the building, archaeologists found fragments of work stone pillars. These are simpler I-shaped stones, not the elaborately carved T-shaped pillars we see at later sites such as Göbeklitepe and Tepe. Many researchers believe these could be early prototypes for more developed monumental architecture that appears at those sites. Even at this early stage, these communities were already experimenting with creating spaces that carried meaning.
The gentleman is telling me that just here, some very old animal horns were found here. So feasting, sacrifice, just general habitat living. This is a settlement. There's no doubt that this is a settlement. They have tools, they had walls, potentially the oldest settlement, or one of the oldest settlements in human history, at least that we found so far, because it comes out in flints. So there's lots of flints, so they had flint tools. Stonehenge settlement. It's immense. So what we see here, well, or don't see, is the other finds, probably more impressive, and straight away I'm seeing larger excavation, and I'm glad that this is very exposed up here. It's very windy. He's talking to his boss. So this is a real step down. See how here the excavation that's taken part here. I'm not sure what they're going to. Hopefully we're going to have some photos to show you what they found here.
In the 2025 season, one partially excavated communal building revealed something striking. Nearly half the interior was filled with animal skulls, mostly gazelle, along with wild cattle, sheep, and equids. They had been burned elsewhere and then deliberately placed against the walls inside the structure. This wasn't casual disposal. The placement was intentional and organized. Gazelle hunting was clearly important here, but bringing the skulls inside a special building and arranging them this way suggests something more. Were these hunting trophies, ritual offerings, or connected to ideas about the animals themselves, or perhaps the people who hunted them? Whatever the purpose, it shows these early settled groups were already embedding meaning and ritual into their communal spaces.
Does it make sense?
No problem.
No problem. But thank you, sir. Thank you. 13,000 years is, to be honest, a pretty good estimate. This is probably older than Göbeklitepe, and we're going to head up here. Look at this up here as we turn the corner. Yep.
As with the other sites in this landscape, big claims had already started circulating. Some have described Çakmaktepe as one of the oldest settlements in the Taş Tepeler area. Others are quick to link every new find to sweeping theories about sudden leaps in human development. The reality is more complicated and in some ways more concerning. While some sites in the region are seeing increasing attention and infrastructure, many sites including Çakmaktepe are still struggling with a clear lack of serious investment. This isn't unique to this site. Across Turkey, numerous important archaeological projects face the same problem. Not enough long-term funding for proper excavation, conservation and research. Archaeology is expensive. It requires time, expertise, equipment and sustained support. Without meaningful financial backing from those who have resources, governments, institutions and wealthy individuals, I'm looking at you, Elon Musk, who care about heritage, we risk losing irreplaceable information about where we came from.
It should be going around here, you see? See the stone?
These sites hold some of the earliest evidence of how humans began to settle, organize and create meaning. If we don't properly invest in understanding them now, that knowledge may be lost forever. Tourism can help, but it cannot replace proper scientific investment. Archaeology needs real support if we really truly want to know our own story. Çakmaktepe doesn't offer neat conclusions, it offers sharp questions. It shows hunter-gatherers who were already building homes and communal spaces with thought and effort. It shows ritual behavior that feels surprisingly developed for such an early date. And it reminds us that the story of how we first chose to settle and what that meant is still being written beneath this landscape. Şanlıurfa remains one of the best bases for exploring those early sites. It's well connected and within reasonable reach of several important locations of the Taş Tepeler region. There is more to come from this area, more seasons of work, more discoveries that will force us to keep adjusting what we think we know. For more detailed information on Çakmaktepe and other sites in this region, you can find additional articles and resources on my website. If you want to follow what emerges next, subscribe and turn on notifications. Drop your thoughts in the comments, particularly about the gazelle skulls. What do you think they were doing with them?
Yeah, it is beautiful. It's really beautiful. This is where the archaeologists hang out. I hope you've enjoyed that insight. I really appreciate the help I had there from the Turkish authorities just to let me see the place. The Turks have been nothing but hospitable in this country. They've been very friendly, they've been very courteous. There hasn't been a moment where they've been rude. Once again, without a hat, I take my hat off to them because they are gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what they are. Yeah. So I thank you. It's very beautiful up here. Without you guys being part of this, I wouldn't be able to make these videos. For example, getting just the car and getting the car to this place takes time and money, and it is with your support that I'm able to make these videos. So I want to thank my members, I want to thank my subscribers. If you do like this content, leave a like, leave a comment, and if you fancy being generous, you want to join the postcard club, or you just want to become a friend and member, click the member, click join, and you'll be helping support this channel. You'll be helping me make many more videos just like this and other types of videos as well along the way. As you may have already noticed, I cover a lot of different topics, so hopefully you've enjoyed this journey and keep wandering. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. These places keep revealing more than we expect. Keep wondering about those wonders of the world.